Hey guys, we have not done a video in, I don't know, it seems like forever. So I wanted to hop on here today. We've had some comments and some questions about the process of how we make some of our larger signs and the 3D lettering. And it's been a while since we've shown that. So I kind of wanted to do a short little video with some clips to show that process for you. And then also wanted to talk about, we get a lot of questions, especially on those very large custom signs. You know, can I get one? How much is this going to cost? What size is it? So what I wanted to talk about today is a couple of different versions that we have to offer for especially those custom, huge custom signs that you want maybe to cover a particular wall in your home, maybe a space over your bed. So one of the things that, you know, we do the most and that we're pretty much known for is that raised 3D laser cut lettering that we attach to the signboard. It gives it a real dimension. It's something different that you can't really get out in the big box stores as much. And it just makes a really good statement piece, especially on these larger signs that you would find, you know, over your dining room table, over your bed, over your fireplace mantle. But one of the things that comes along with that is that 3D lettering is literally gluing each one of these letters on one by one and getting them aligned, getting them straight, and then making sure that they're all attached. So that does take a lot of time and a lot of precision, a lot of detail work. We paint all of the letters, and then, you know, once we get them all attached to the sign, and sometimes I have to go back and kind of do some touch-ups. So it's something that, you know, when we're doing a really large custom sign, it can run, you know, probably 3 to 4 weeks for us to actually get those done, just because of all the time and detail that goes into it. So sometimes we get a message from someone who really wants the sign, and maybe that cost for that large sign is outside of their budget. And so we offer another option, and that is a combination of vinyl lettering and the 3D lettering. It allows us to fit this more into your budget, and the vinyl lettering is a lot easier to apply. You know, it's already in alignment. We just attach it to the sign rather than having to do each individual letter. So that's what I'm working on today. If you saw the sign that we did back at Valentine's Day, we actually did 2 of them. It was the one with the quote that says, "I choose you." And one of those was all 3D lettering. And then the second one that we did was a combination of the vinyl and the 3D. So it still gives it that dimension. It still makes it an awesome statement piece for your wall, but it helps fit into your budget a little bit better. And sometimes it's a little bit quicker for us to do the production on those. Not a whole lot, but it does kind of speed up that production a little bit. So one of the things that I was super excited about for this sign that I'm going to do, and you're going to see some clips of how this is going to come together, but I've got some new vinyl that I'm going to try today. And this is actually, you know, if you're a maker, if you're a crafter and you use vinyl, some of the most popular ones, obviously one that I've been using the most is an Oracle vinyl. I like the permanent. That way I don't have to worry about it peeling off the signboard. Sometimes if you've ever used vinyl, it can be very hard to attach to wood unless you get it very smooth. So this was a new company, fairly new company. For me, I wasn't familiar with them. And the name is HTV Ront. And it's just htvront.com. I think they specialize mostly in heat transfer vinyl, but they have a ton of different colors, a ton of different patterns, and then they also have just like the regular adhesive vinyl. The one thing about this that I was super surprised about is when I'm doing a sign, I want permanent vinyl. And a lot of the Oracle permanent vinyl is a glossy finish, and I prefer a matte finish on our signs because it matches more to the same texture and look that we give to the 3D lettering. So when they reached out to me, I said, well, I need a permanent vinyl, but I need it in a matte finish. And then she said, all of our permanent vinyl is a matte finish. And so right then and there, I was like, sign me up, let's go. So this is what I'm going to be using today. It is a very super smooth but super matte permanent adhesive vinyl. Again, they have a ton of different colors, different patterns. I'm kind of a classic girl, so given what we're doing with our signs, I just went with a plain old black. So I'm going to get that cut out on I use a Cameo 4 machine right now. We don't do a lot of vinyl, so I've not had a need to upgrade to anything bigger than that. It works great for what we're using it for. So I'm going to get that cut out on the Cameo, and then we're going to get started on putting this sign together, and then we'll attach our 3D lettering. So stay tuned, and we're going to see how this vinyl does when it attaches to the wood. So now that I have the vinyl lettering on here, I can go back and do the 3D lettering up at the top, because this kind of gives me my starting point of alignment. So once I find center here, then I can go back and look at my design, and I can see exactly where these letters need to match up in relation to the second and third line. So I'm going to get those lined up, and then we're going to attach these letters and then move on down the sign. So really quick, while the sign is drying, the glue is setting on the letters, I wanted to kind of follow up a little bit on the new vinyl that I got from HTV Ront. If you are a crafter or maker and you use vinyl, I would actually highly recommend this one. It is a very smooth vinyl. It was easy to weed. The other thing, and this is probably a lot of user error on my part, but a lot of times when I'm cutting a really long section of vinyl, the rollers tend to get off. The vinyl doesn't always cooperate with me. Again, it's probably something I'm doing wrong as a user, but this I was able to just let it do its thing, let it run, let it cut. It was smooth. Anyway, I'm really impressed with this, and the application of it was really easy. So to be honest, I have a few rolls of Oracle 51 vinyl over here, 651, and so far this has been the easiest. Now, I don't use vinyl a whole lot. I'm not a super experienced user with it, so it's not a daily thing. So anytime that something's going to be easy to just put in the machine, cut and weed and get it on a sign, that's going to be my go-to. So this will not be the last time that I use this vinyl. This was a 12 by 10 foot roll. Again, it is actually less expensive. It doesn't cost as much as the Oracle does, and I love it. And the other thing about, and I don't know if they do this on all of theirs, but on the back of the box, I don't know if you can see this, but it actually has the cut settings depending on if you're using a Cricut or if you're using a Cameo. It was pretty spot on. I had to do a little bit of adjustment, but just, you do a test cut to make sure that the settings I recommend is right for the actual machine that you use. I think this one was for a Cameo 3, and I actually have a Cameo 4, I think. I don't know. See, I don't even use it every day, so. Anyway, I'm gonna get this sign, and, but yeah, this is definitely a good choice. It's gonna become part of our supplies in here, so. All right, let's see how the sign's doing. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand way back here so you can see this. This is a 24 by 48 sign, and now as you can see, we have, this is really heavy, the 3D lettering combination with the vinyl, so it still gives it that dimension and that texture. So this has got all the letters on it. Now this is gonna go back out to the shop for Britt to build the custom frame that's gonna go on it. He'll build the frame, we'll stain it, and then we'll actually put the sign in the frame, and then it will come back to me for some finish up details. Some of the things that we go back and do, especially when I'm attaching the letters, and I get, as you probably saw, a little bit of glue on my fingers. If there's some glue on the letters, I'll go back and clean that up, and then also I'll do a touch up with some black paint just to touch up any scratches that might have occurred. And then once he gets the frame done, it'll come back in here to me, and I will once again do some cleanup and touch up if needed, and then we'll get the hanging hardware on this and then get it packaged and ready to ship out. So I absolutely love this. This was again a custom order, and I really love the verse, and I love the way that this layout has turned out so far. So stay tuned for the finished product.